I've learned a lot about the video making process over the last year, and I don't use AI for anything, so I want to share how I made some of these effects for anyone else who might be interested in making their own videos. Let's start with the titles. This font actually comes from images pulled from the game files, but one of the best sources I've found for Harvest Moon source images is the Mira Hayes wiki. You can put these together manually one letter at a time, but I used the Sierra Death Generator because once it was set up, it took a lot less time and you can do a whole lot with it. I'm using a local version from this repository, and the only reason I haven't merged it with the public server because I got a new computer before I finished the project. And once you have the source images, I recommend learning about keyframes as soon as practical. Every effect in this video uses keyframes in one way or another, and it's a huge time saver in the long run. Basically, it's a way to set image properties at specific points in time, and if you change the image every couple of milliseconds, you can even make animations. Because what is an animation but a series of images? SRC leaderboards. My original plan was to use Internet Archive, but the captures weren't frequent enough to capture all the different stages of progression. And what I ended up doing was modifying the HTML to match the data in the chart. Now, when I was making this, I wanted to slide the names up and down on the list, but the alternating colors really threw a wrench in that idea. It forced me to come up with some of these unique designs, and I think that ended up being a good thing in the end. The only downside is that lining up all these keyframes took so much time, and it's probably the biggest reason that chapter took so long. The compromise I found for Sam's entries was making them all in blue, so the color scheme is still disrupted, but it works. And it was a whole lot easier to manage. This Mew in the truck scene uses one of my favorite optical illusions. I've used it several times since, but I discovered how to do this one completely by accident. So DaVinci Resolve uses a layer system. If two images overlap, only the highest priority image will show up. There's no partial priority, but you can create this illusion by using duplicate images. If you crop the image on top exactly where you want the other one to appear, you can hide the seam by setting the background as the uncropped image, which is a lot easier to show you than to explain. You can do a lot of cool things with this setup, and my only warning is not to spend too much time trying to line everything up, because nobody really cares that much, and a lot of people are just listening to YouTube these days anyway. It's worth remembering that if something's not in the audio, a good portion of people will miss it, but I think that's even more reason to throw in visual edits and Easter eggs for the people who actually do watch. See if you can find Mew in every chapter, that kind of thing. I don't think anyone's caught on to that one yet, but maybe I'm wrong. And if a video is taking you longer than you thought to make, or you're not making as much progress as you'd imagined, that's actually pretty normal. I think we all take for granted how much work goes into making these things, especially with all those AI voices and copy-paste content farms out there. But don't let that discourage you, because creative voices are far more valuable than the algorithm makes you out to be. And if you've been wavering on it, this is me encouraging you to do it, because anyone can learn to draw or to write, but this skill combines them all, and I have a whole lot more respect for anyone who takes the time to actually make these kinds of videos, to share your perspective, especially since the algorithm is not in your favor, but do it anyway. My goal was to finish a video before the end of the day, and I think I nailed it. And now I'm going to go get some dinner, because I earned it. But I plan on finishing up the retrospective series soon. This is just me getting back into a video making mood. Maybe shake off all that perfectionism. But they're coming. I'll see you then.